Hi everyone, my name's Amy. I've been a dog breeder for 25 years or so. And I often will rehome my dogs, my retired dogs. I'm making this dog for Libby. I had just posted a little video of Libby waking up her mama. Libby's retired and I had rehomed her. And that video was with her new mom. And she had sent me a message, I don't know, be a week or so ago, and told me that Libby had passed. And she told me that she had one of those vaccines that starts with an R, sounds like a rabbit. And on the 16th and on the 24th, she had passed. She had not recovered from the reactions to that, okay? At 13 years old, your vet, or any vet, should not be continuing to vaccinate dogs at that age. Okay, I need to tell you guys something. You have to start saying no. But I'm going to let you in on something if you're not aware of it. And I get that some people aren't even aware of this. But there is a test that you can do to check the immunity levels of the vaccines in the dog's body, in their system. It's called the Titer test. Titer test. Okay, it is a blood test, and some have it in a snap, one of those snap tests, or they send the blood work in. However it is. Okay, that shows the immunity of where what immunity they still have. We do not need to be doing these vaccines, not every year, not every third year. You could probably get away with 5 to 7 years in between these vaccines. But the vets will tell you this, and this is me telling you the truth, okay? This is my truth because these are things that I'm experiencing. And being in this business for this long, I talk to a lot of people. I have bred a lot of dogs, and I've seen a lot and I know a lot. Those things that we're putting into their bodies, we're doing that against their will, because if you ask them, do you want me to take and get this put into you? And if they could speak to you, they would tell you, heck no, do not touch me with that. So they know better. And I'm going to relate this to my situation with my horse. The second that went in his body, he knew. He knew that there was something wrong. And I'm going to even go a little deeper here. And when that happened to him, so he had a vaccine that starts with a T. And humans get it on an every 10-year basis. You know what I mean? Okay? They say, if you step on a nail or something, you need this shot. Look it up. There's less than probably 1,000 people a year that ever get that. And how many millions and billions of people take that? Scary. Anyway, because people get the same reaction that my horse got. Same thing. Look it up. So he knew that shot that was put in his body was different, okay? And I'm going to tell you why I know this. When this happened, I knew something was wrong, and this is happening for a reason. So to confirm my suspicions, I contacted people who are psychic, okay? You can connect in to any type of energy. You can connect into other people. You can connect into your own dogs, your own cats, your own whatever. And I can connect into him. And I just needed it confirmed. What he had said, the second it went in his body, they're not like they used to be. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to get into the deeper stuff, but I will in a different video. He knew that they were not like they used to be. And this is the point I'm trying to make to you guys. We need to stop. Until this world settles down, until these things that we're putting in them, we stop worrying about doing them because they're not necessary. And all these new ones, stay the fuck away from. They are the worst ones. Now, we've been attacked and harmed in the last 6 years, and so are they. Now, trust me when I say they do not need these things. You are not doing them a favor. Do not allow these vets to make you feel like you're this big and you're a poor freaking owner. Okay? They do that because they just want your money. And they know, most of them, I'm not saying all of them, that the more of that poison that goes into their bodies, the sicker they're going to be, the more issues they're going to have, and the more freaking money they have. And I'm getting upset, but follow the dollar signs. They don't give a rat's ass about you or your dog. All they know is they have a number that they have to make, especially now because most of them are not owned privately anymore. They have a new system in place, and everything is about the freaking dollar sign. And I bet you if we go and ask some of these vets, the ones who are going to be truthful and honest are going to tell you they can't practice the way they used to practice. They're following these new system. The new system is all about pushing every poison possible, make you feel like you're this big because you don't want to do something because you already know it's going to harm your dog, but they literally belittle you into making you think like you're a poor owner if you don't do what they're telling you to do. Okay? This is time is done. We're done with this shit. Okay? You don't need them. Okay? If you're in a tick area, make up a homemade natural spray. There's multiple vets. There's Dr. Andrew Jones, Canadian vet. Stopped practicing, gave up his license so he could do natural stuff to help everybody. He has a book. It's this thick. I have it. And it's literally the veterinarian secrets. It's disgusting. There's Dr. Judy Morgan. There's Dr. Will the vet. He's an Australian guy. He does a Titer test right on live video. His dog that he used in the video I saw hasn't had a vaccine in 8 years. And the 3 things he tested for, you see them. They're 3 different titers, and it's a snap test thing. Everything was at a 6th level, which apparently is the highest level. 8 years, no vaccines. And his immunity was still at 8 or 6, the highest immunity there is. Okay, so the next thing is more and more people, because I've been preaching this for a couple years now, are going in and asking for Titer tests. Well, they don't like that because they don't want you to know that you didn't need it, right? It's time we start waking up. So what they've been doing is they've been charging people a ridiculous amount. I had one of my customers call me and tell me that they wanted to charge her $800 for a blood test. I said to her, you tell them to stick it where the sun doesn't shine because you don't need it anyway. So until we make the change and stop doing this stuff, nothing is going to change. Our dogs are going to get sicker. You're spending way more money at the vets because their fees are like beyond reasonable. So it's simple. Stay away from the poison. Put them on a better food. Cook for them. All these vets, and Dr. Andrew Jones, Judy Morgan, Will the vet, they're screaming about healthier diets, less vaccines equals a healthier dog. But they don't want you to know this stuff, okay? Titer test, if they're going to charge you an arm and a leg, tell them to stick it and leave. This is your right, okay? If you feel you want to do this over and over, I'm going to tell you, you are harming your dog, you're doing the opposite of what you think you're doing, because they're not necessary. And a Titer test is what will tell you, okay, as long as they're not messing with them either. So there are vets out there, there are very good vets out there that are more than willing to do these Titer tests. Find those vets. Find the private vets that actually listen to you and want to know what your concerns are. We still need vets, don't get me wrong, but we do not need to be belittled. We do not need to be bullied and coerced and threatened into doing these things. And they should know better. And until we start making a fuss, that's not going to happen. I've quit vaccinating my dogs for years. I've changed their food. I don't have sick dogs. I couldn't even tell you the last time I went to the vet. Nothing. Okay? I hear lots of things because there's new technology vaccines coming in. I'm telling you to stay the heck away from them. Do not do anything that's new. They don't need a Lyme shot, okay? They're creating the problems. Stay out of the areas where there is, and I know some people live in areas where it's everywhere. Make a homemade natural spray. There's all kinds of recipes for it. That other poison that we're putting on them, I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to go back to my horse for a minute. When I had him tested, the vets don't test for all of these things. So I have some outside of the box thinkers as friends. And we tested him. Guess what he tested for? Well, other than the autoimmune that they diagnosed and wanted to do chemotherapy as his treatment. No way in heck, okay? He tested positive for Lyme and snake venom. I'm just going to put that out there, and I'm not really going to go more into that. Maybe I will in a video for him. Where did that come from? Just think about that for a second. I don't have ticks here. Okay? When they create the problem, there's many solutions. They have all of the solutions. Just like for my horse. His solutions is, oh, here we go. We're going to try him on, I can't even tell you, it starts with an M, but apparently it is a chemotherapy drug. I'm not kidding you. So I am doing everything natural, and if I succeed, great. But I know one thing. He's got a heck of a better chance of surviving and possibly healing on a natural medicine than on more poison. So we have to stop. Don't let them bully you. You need to start throwing questions at them. They can't. What are they going to do if you don't go? Like, what are they going to do? Come and take your pet? How many freaking pets are there? They can't force you to do anything. You do not have to consent to anything. Like, if you can't do it for yourself, you got to do it for them. They don't have a voice. You're their voice. I am their voice. Trying to tell you, like, stop. Go to the vet when you need deworming medicine, or, well, there's natural stuff for that too. Like, I could tell you a bunch of things. But if you're unsure about the vaccines, don't do it. Do a Titer test. And let the Titer test tell you if you need it or not, okay? These guys have to make a choice. Like, what side of the fence do I want to be on? Why did I sign up to be a vet? Because they're not getting to practice the way they thought that they would practice. They're following such strict protocols and push product. I'm sure that's not what they had in mind when they went to vet school. They went to vet school because their heart's in it. And the way that they're practicing now is they have to detach. Because I can't imagine at the end of the day pushing that much poison into an animal that they could feel good about that at the end of the day. Like, but until we start speaking up and start saying no and start questioning what they're doing and ask them, do you really think this is all necessary? It's not. None of it is. Change their diet. Get them off corn, wheat, soy. Cook for them. Cook a meal a day. A chicken, some veggies. Like, there's so many things we can be doing to better, especially if you only have 1 or 2 dogs. That's probably cheaper than buying some of these $100 bags of kibble. That's just junk. Just saying. So do not let Libby's passing be for nothing. They don't need these shots. In the beginning, and this is why I am not breeding this year, I cannot go to the vet and put that in their bodies. I can't do that anymore. I can't. But as you've seen, if you saw the video that I posted of Libby, it's just a little short video. She was waking up her mama. She said that she did that every morning. She said, Libby was my alarm clock. She looked pretty darn happy and healthy to me. And I have a photo of her, which I didn't post, but I will, afterwards. And it's really freaking sad. And I really hate having to do these videos, but, and maybe you guys don't know about these Titer tests. And that's what we have to do. We have to start doing different ways. And just know, the more poison they put in, the more issues you are going to have down the line. They do not want healthy, happy dogs. They want walking paychecks. They do the same darn thing with us. Just think of a dollar sign. That's all you got to think. Okay? This is the sad truth that we're living in. But until we actually start taking action, it's not going to change. So, question, get answers, put them on the spot. Okay? Until we do this as a whole, call me, email me. I don't care. I will help you. I will empower you to stand in your power, to speak up for yourself and your dog. These people who are not nice ones, okay, there's many nice ones, they are in their ego. They just, and it's money. It's not, they're not in their heart. They're in their mind. They're in their ego. They need to drop into their heart, because that's what most of them went to school for. But they're not allowed to be there. And we need to convince them, what side of the fence do you want to be on? And if they want to be on the other side of the fence, then you know what? Maybe they all need to start their practices again in private and more natural, holistic ways, because that seems to be what's coming, what's happening. So, yeah, poor little Libby. And again, that lady didn't know any different either. She said, Amy, I just saw your video that you made 3 weeks ago. She says, that pretty well sums it up. So I guess that's why I'm doing this. Guys, you don't need to be doing this. You can say no. You need to say no. They can't do a thing to you. Like, get the fucking fear out of your life. Okay, you're in charge of yourself. You're in charge of your own life and theirs. Nobody can change that. They can't take your dog from you, okay? Or your kids, like if you don't want to do that to them either. Or yourself. You're accountable for you. You can tell them to go take a hike. I don't consent. I don't need it. Don't want it. My dog doesn't need this, so don't bully me. So we have to stop, okay? Too many of these dogs are too sick. You guys are just pouring out money into the hands of the not so nice people on this planet. I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, I don't want this to be too long. There are lots of holistic vets out there. There are vets who are private who will listen to you. Seek those out. There are some of them still left. And Titer tests. and just stop going. Unless you absolutely have to go. You don't need to be running to the vet every 5 minutes, every time some little thing comes up with your dog. Okay? Time. Just give them time sometimes. Maybe they have an upset tummy. Maybe they ate something that didn't agree with them. You know, it's not everything is an emergency. You got to start tapping into your own self. Is my dog okay? Does it really need to go to the vet? What does your body tell you? You know, you'll know if you have this gut feeling something's really wrong, then something's probably really wrong. But if you're letting your fear control you, that's your ego, it's going to tell you every scary thing possible. So you got to determine what's speaking, my ego or my gut. What do I need to listen to? I listen to my gut and I ignore that ego. And when my gut says, oh, no, something's really wrong, then I'm going to start listening. Then I'm going to start paying attention. And like, that's basically our first step. Look at them, tap into them, see what they're doing, ask them, talk to them. They understand us. I'm not crazy. I'm not whacked out. But start communicating with your animals. They understand us. They're here to teach us so much stuff. That's a whole nother video. But do not let Libby's passing be for nothing, you guys. Please stop putting all of this poison into them. Titer tests, if they're charging you a ridiculous amount, tell them to stick it. We don't need to deal with this bullshit. We don't. No, not now, not ever. And it needs to change. Things have to become safe. And everything that's being put in them, not safe. And worse is it's not necessary. So I maybe should have done this video a long time ago. But if you guys want to do like a live chat or a Zoom call or something, if you guys all have questions, I am so open to doing that. But yes, don't worry. Stop worrying. Stop fretting. Get out of the fear and start speaking up. Make them accountable for what they're doing. Question everything and get the answers you want. And if they can't answer you, why? Right? Titer tests. No more vaccines. All right. Until the next one. Thank you for watching, guys. I know it's long, but it's so worth it for their sake.